They are demoralised and dejected. Ben Brown, BBC News, Moscow.
And tonight's main news again. In the latest atrocity in Rwanda, 21 orphans and 13 Red Cross officials have been murdered. From the 9 o'clock news, good night.
Good evening. A 10-year-old Kent boy who was so severely beaten up by school bullies that he had to spend 3 months in hospital is suing his education authority. Justin Stowe was held down and kicked repeatedly in the legs at his school in Margate.
Justin Stowe claims that 2 years ago, when he was a pupil at the Drapers Mill School in Margate, 3 older boys pinned him to the ground and repeatedly kicked him, severely damaging his knee.
I don't think it's very nice, and I think they should get expelled because you never know if they might do it to another child.
Justin's mother believes the education authority was negligent in failing to provide protection for Justin on school premises. Neither the school nor Kent County Council were prepared to discuss the case, saying it is now up to the courts. Kent, however, stated that the school has been consistently oversubscribed for the last 10 years, a factor which would not be the case if this school was known to be violent or disruptive.
The Channel Tunnel operators claimed today that trains running on their tracks would be between 30 and 50 times safer than on conventional railways.
In the run-up to opening, emergency workers are practising for any eventuality. But Eurotunnel says that on its shuttle trains, the chances are of just one death in 540 million journeys. Eurostar trains are even safer, 1 death in 1 billion journeys through the tunnel. The company will publish its full safety report later this month.
You can see the approach that's been adopted by Eurotunnel and the Safety Authority to satisfy what are 2 different safety cultures, the French and the British.
But the Channel Tunnel must still have final approval from the Independent Safety Authority before freight trains can start running later this month and passenger trains in July.
And that's it tonight. There's more news on Radio Oxford and other BBC local radio stations in the southeast at 10 o'clock.
Good evening. Some interesting variations in the weather today. 7 to 9 degrees, for instance, along the east coast, 20 to 21 degrees a little way inland. The reason? The wind coming in off the cold North Sea. Tomorrow things will change. They'll even out. The wind will swing round to the southwest and we'll find temperatures up on the east coast, coming down around the London area. The reason for the change, this particular cold front, it's brought the cloud and rain across the country. You can see that band as it marched across during today. We had some sunshine ahead of it, very warm too, and then it became somewhat fresher and brighter with showers behind. And we have a fair number of showers on our radar at the moment, and this clearer, cooler weather is now feeding into Western Europe as well. Had a thunderstorm recently in southwest Scotland. Fair number of showers still in those western areas. They're going to persist during the night, some into northern Scotland as well. The other feature of the overnight weather is it's going to be quite windy. The strongest winds probably moving northwards, so there could well be some gales across Northern Ireland into southwest Scotland by the end of the night. Temperatures about 7 or 8. Tomorrow we find a run of westerly winds, another front on the horizon for the day after. It'll start dry and bright, I think, in many central and eastern parts tomorrow. Some rain across Northern Ireland and southwest Scotland, some showers in the west. We will find cloud bubbling up during the day. We're going to have showers coming through from time to time. They won't last all that long, but some could be quite heavy, especially in eastern areas with some hail and thunder. But later on in the day, I think in the west, they'll tend to die down. You'll get more in the way of sunshine there. Temperatures evening out around about the normal for the time of year, as we've seen. That means warmer than today along the east coast, somewhat cooler than today in the more central areas. And then moving into Thursday, it starts off fairly bright, but we will have that front I showed you out on the Atlantic moving in across the country. It will bring us all some outbreaks of rain, and then as it moves out of the way, the more sheltered parts of the country could well brighten up again and have some fairly warm sunshine, but it'll stay dull and drizzly, I think, near to those coasts. The heaviest rain in the northwest. We see the last of that front out of the way, giving the rain, clearing the rain away from the southeast. Then it's bright, but there will be showers in the northwest.
Morning has broken at Tundish Hall.
I think we should at least get a bit each. Not convinced I'd want a bit.
So what you came here for was the money.
I'm wearing this as a tribute to Ellie.
Oh, is that the idea?
I got elected weeks ago.
I'd like it now if I were you.
thing is, it's a man's waistcoat.
Aren't waistcoats generally assumed to be bisexual?
I think you probably mean unisex more.
You think I can't handle a little mongrel like that?
We're talking pit bulls, not poodles.
The RIFF RAFF Element. In half an hour on BBC1.
Before that, on BBC One, someone who spends her entire life trying to avoid her own RIFF RAFF element.
Just before the turn of the century, a man was born who was to change the face of American music. Duke Ellington. He set out to capture the sights and sounds of Harlem and transform them into a new music, evocative, distinctive and transcending social barriers. 20 years after his death, BBC One tells the story of a great American composer, tonight at 5 to 11.
First on BBC One, a sombre mood at Tundish Hall.